Each of the 4 attachment patterns represent specific tendencies of self-regulation as well as a dominance in our nervous system. So if we tend to fall more into the anxiously attached pattern, we may find ourselves getting worked up, or there may be a lot of mobilization through our mind-body system when somebody hasn't texted us back, or we don't know where we stand with somebody. So this would correlate more to the sympathetic nervous system state. Now, one of the most useful things we can learn to do is take the tendency to looking outside of us to see how we're doing, to getting that sense from within. And how we learn to do that is through the process of interoception. And that's cultivating this ability to learn and understand our internal bodily signals, and at the same time to develop within us this well of safety. So although we will want to socially engage if we're more in that sympathetic nervous system state, or if we fall into the anxious attachment, what we can learn to do is just lean back the other way and bring in more self-regulation through connecting to our inner world. Research has shown that if we lack a connection to our inner world, or our interoceptive signals aren't so accurate, we'll rely more on the things outside of us, such as other people, to tell us how we're doing. On the other hand, if we have an insecure avoidant attachment style, our tendency may be more towards self-regulating, and we don't co-regulate enough. And this can also map to having more of a dorsal vagal dominance in the nervous system, which brings a hypoarousal or a sense of flatness. We might feel lethargic, we may feel a sense of apathy, and hear the stories that things are never going to work out, I'm never going to get the love or connection I want, so why even bother? Now, what's been learnt with this pattern is that we can't rely on other people, and we need to rely upon ourselves. So if we tend to be more into that pattern, the antidote is to actually lean more into that co-regulation and see if we can start depending on other people in times of stress. If we fall into the disorganized attachment style, we may tend to experience both. So we may feel the hyperarousal of the sympathetic nervous system that takes us towards people and we feel anxious, but then we may pull right back and feel a sense of hypoarousal and withdraw, isolate, or stonewall. And in this case, we may need to cultivate both co-regulation, so learning to harness the nervous system of another regulated person to help shift ourselves back to regulation, as well as those self-regulation strategies in time. With secure attachment, this fits into the state where we're regulated, or ventral vagal regulation. And here we're inside of what's known as the window of tolerance, where although we have fluctuating sensations and emotions, they don't overwhelm us. The power of co-regulation with somebody who can attune to your inner world is what can bring the social engagement system back online. This is the branch of the vagus nerve that runs between the heart and the face. And it's through the social engagement system, when we access it, that we return back to this place of safety, feeling calm, and these defensive strategies can subside. When we practice this consistently over and over, the process of neuroplasticity can take place. Although these patterns are what we learnt when we were younger, we know that it's possible to unlearn these patterns that make relationships difficult and can really continue to leave us stuck in the highs of anxiety and overwhelm, and get shut down in despair as well. So this process of unlearning, first of all, means that we begin to understand how our nervous system works, to see it in action. And then there's a process of relearning, where we begin to relate to ourselves, to other people, and this world in new ways. So we don't become defined by that particular pattern of attachment or by that dominance of our nervous system. We learn to function in a new way. So we can let go of those patterns from the past and learn to live in the now.